So, why are you always busy, but your business never actually seems to grow? I mean, it's a trap so many of us fall into, right? We're constantly out there searching for basic productivity hacks, or we tell ourselves we just need to muster up a bit more old fashioned discipline to clear our plates. But today, we're shifting gears completely. We are going to explore a powerful 4 step attention economics framework used by top CEOs. This is the exact same system that allowed a client of ours, Mark, to literally take a week-long vacation to Maui without slowing his business down for a single second.
Okay, let's dive into this. I am incredibly excited to unpack this explainer for you today because the concepts we're going to look at will fundamentally change how you view a workday. Welcome to the breakdown on how to manage your time like a CEO.
Here is exactly what we're covering today. First, the attention economy. Then, finding your CEO work. After that, the right way to delegate, followed by beating Parkinson's law. And we'll wrap it all up with designing your standard week. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The attention economy.
The very first paradigm shift we really have to embrace here is that time management isn't actually about managing time itself. Actually, it's about managing what you put your attention into. Think of your time like capital in an investment portfolio. Most business owners, unfortunately, invest their time like a 16-year-old who just discovered meme coins, randomly throwing their energy at tasks with absolutely zero strategy and just kind of hoping for the best. But when it comes to your time, you need to act like a Wall Street hedge fund manager. You have to demand the absolute highest return on investment for your attention. Because look, you can't pick up a remote and click pause, fast forward, or rewind on the clock. You can only control where you invest your focus as a currency.
Moving on to Section 2. Finding your CEO work.
You know, top business owners don't try to do 100 things a day. They go all in on just 1 to 3 specific tasks that actually move the needle for their company. And this brilliantly illustrates how we find those tasks, categorizing every single daily to-do based on its ROI and your personal enjoyment. Up in the top left, you've got tasks that grow the business and that you genuinely enjoy. This is your core CEO work, and you absolutely must prioritize it. Over on the top right are tasks you enjoy but don't grow the business, things like a date night or going to the gym. You have to protect these because enjoying your life translates directly into better focus at work. Now, down in the bottom left, tasks that grow the business but you just don't enjoy doing. You need to delegate these. And finally, the bottom right. This is the busy work that doesn't grow the business and you don't even enjoy doing anyway. You need to delegate or eliminate these immediately. Honestly, you would be shocked by how much of our day falls into this final bucket.
Which brings us to Section 3. The right way to delegate.
Now, this step comes with a little bit of tough love. When you try to get rid of low ROI work from the bottom half of that grid, if you do it wrong, you don't actually do less work. You just end up creating a totally different kind of busy work for yourself. Bad delegation completely fractures your time. We've all been there, right? It's when you hand off a task, but your employee taps you on the shoulder every 10 minutes with a new question. You end up frustrated, and you're still spending mental energy on low ROI work. Good delegation, however, isn't just handing off a task. It is completely removing yourself from the decision-making process.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that every single delegated task requires 3 non-negotiables to prevent those constant interruptions. First, a clear SOP, or standard operating procedure, so your team knows exactly what to do step by step and how to handle updates. Second, a clear picture of done. The employee needs to know exactly what a successful outcome looks like without you having to micromanage every single detail. And third, ownership. They need to realize they are both capable of and allowed to make decisions entirely on their own. The ultimate goal? Fewer decisions for you and 0 reasons for your attention to be pulled away from your true CEO work.
Section 4. Beating Parkinson's law. You see, simply cleaning up a task list and handing off a few projects isn't enough to magically free up your schedule. Take what I call the total freedom trap. We had this client named Brandon who achieved his ultimate goal of having complete schedule flexibility. No strict start times, no hard stops. Sounds like the dream, right? But having all that unstructured freedom meant he woke up every single day asking, well, what should I work on first? And this completely destroyed his strategic focus. He just ended up reacting to emails and other people's false urgency all day, instead of tackling his own high ROI work. He was incredibly busy, but he had 0 actual control over his time. The psychology behind Brandon's struggle is perfectly explained by Parkinson's law. That's the principle that work expands to fill the amount of time allocated to it. It's the exact same reason why leaving your school assignments to the very last minute always seemed to work out back in the day. If you give yourself an endless block of time to do a project, it is going to stretch out to consume all of that available time. I absolutely love this realization from another client of ours, Kirsty. She noted, in business, there really are no deadlines on most things. Things are so easily put off if we don't have a reason not to. She hit the nail on the head. To beat Parkinson's law, you must artificially inject non-negotiable constraints right into your day. Maybe you decide you are hitting the gym 5 days a week, no matter what, or you absolutely must be home by 6 p.m. These artificial limits force you to work faster and much more effectively within the time you actually have. But remember, the whole shebang only works if you actually stick to the constraints you set.
And finally, Section 5, designing your standard week. This brings us to the daily mechanics of how to guarantee you spend time on those needle-moving, high ROI tasks every single day. Look, running a business by waking up every Monday morning and deciding from scratch how the company operates is pure chaos. If you start your morning reacting and just kind of wondering what to do, you are already behind. The reality is, the tasks you need to prioritize and protect are almost entirely recurring.
So we designed a standard week to completely remove the guesswork. You start by mapping your recurring tasks to specific days. Then you plan tomorrow's schedule tonight, so when you wake up, you've got a strategy already in place. Out of that schedule, you pick one most important task, your MIT, and you schedule to do that MIT first. I'm going to be very direct with you here. If you want something done, schedule to do it. You simply cannot expect to tackle the hard work that actually grows a business if you leave your daily routine up to chance.
10 to 20. That is the exact number of hours per week that business owners reclaim when they implement this attention economics system. By auditing your tasks, delegating the right way with rock-solid SOPs, setting artificial constraints to beat Parkinson's law, and strictly scheduling your standard week, you get those 10 to 20 hours back. And you do it without slowing your growth for a second. So, I will leave you with this final, provocative thought. Are you going to keep making excuses about not having enough time, even if you have kids or a crazy busy personal life? Or are you going to finally schedule your day and reclaim your business? The framework is right here. The execution is entirely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to start auditing those tasks today.